Hi guys, how's everyone doing? So, went to this job yesterday. Good customer of mine. He's bought this bike a little while ago and he's been out on it once or twice, and he said it was hard to start one day, and the battery, I'm not sure if it's here, he was concerned with the battery because you know the little caps for the acid, well, one of them had popped up, which is a bit weird, and yeah, and it wouldn't start. He put a new battery on it, it won't start. Anyway, I went to it yesterday. I'll just grab the camera. So I had a look at it yesterday, and so I pulled this cap off just to check we're getting power to the starter motor. And if you have a look at those terminals, see what you can see. So I noticed that this one, this one's the battery, this one's the starter motor. Can you see how different the leads look? So this one's almost darker, and I don't know if they're soldered normally, because this one's been soldered. So the solder, if it had any, it's gone. So if it had solder, that is. I mean, so that was the first sort of indicator of what was going on. So I pulled this little cover off, which has got the reduction gear for the starter motor. Took the gear out, switched it on, nothing, still stuck. So pulled the starter motor off, and I'll quickly show you what's happened to it. So if you get a situation where the starter motor is just basically stalled or stuck or something, it's either one of two things. The armature, which is on most starter motors, they have an armature on the inner and a permanent magnet on the outside, and then your brushes are usually on the end. So they're usually a couple of things that can go. Obviously the brushes can break up, get jammed in there, lots of carbon, but in this case it's the magnets that have gone. So we'll just get the armature out. You can see there that the magnets have actually separated from the casing, and that's why it wouldn't turn. Basically the whole thing's just one piece. So ordered the starter motor yesterday, and it's come next day delivery. So, and obviously there's a bit of a concern about possibly the battery getting overcharged. So when we get the new starter motor installed, yeah, we'll test the charging system. Hopefully it's nothing wrong with that aspect of it, but it is a bit strange, like to see magnets come away like that sometimes. But yeah, so I've got a new starter motor. Obviously it's an aftermarket one, but I think the genuine one is about £600 if you're in the UK. Obviously there's no fairings. I don't know if I mentioned, this is a GSR 750. So I'm going to just put the connector on the starter motor. I'm not going to bother testing it, obviously I'm just going to fit it. I mean, it's only got about 15,000 miles, this bike, so it's a bit strange how the starter motor is just let go like that, but get that cover on. Right, so this should just slot in there. Radiator hose is in the way a little bit. Right. So sometimes they can go too far and you can't get the bolt in, so I'm just feeling for the hole on the back side. So I stick this bolt in. There's two little M6 bolts that secure it from the back. I did comment that, you know, hopefully the engine's not seized to the customer, because I thought maybe that's what's happened. So the battery's been on charge, so it should just fire up. Oh, that's not what I expected. So I'm going to pull this cover off because it's... Oh, maybe the battery's just flat. Oh, there we go. Right, so we'll just check the charging. 13.8. So we'll let that run for 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to do an oil change while I'm here too. .2. Just want to check this switch again. It's got a slightly sticky exhaust valve, so I'll mention that. I was a little bit worried the solenoid might have been burnt, you know, with it having a stuck starter motor. A lot of current's gone through that wire obviously, so something to be mindful of. What I'll suggest to him is, if he's out one day and it won't start, just get one of the tools out of the toolkit and he can short the terminals out. That's probably what's happened. The solenoid's gotten a little bit burnt. What size are these? 17, I think, aren't they? Yeah, 17. So that's the oil change done. So we'll just tracker. Yeah, we'll just see up. We'll just burn off that oil on the exhaust. The exhaust valve, might have to turn it off. We'll just see if that valve's stuck. It's moving, but you can't get to it, can you? But it looks like it was only moving halfway around, so it's a bit hard to do with the cables attached. Oh yeah, it's not stuck, that, so I think that's alright. Oh, I'll have to start it first, won't I? So the reason for my concern, why I'm testing it so much, the customer noticed this has happened. So I can't imagine that someone put this battery together and left that cap, so it could have popped up. So let's just do a quick test of it, see what this is saying. $175 cold cranking amps. So the battery's still okay. It's actually measuring 280 cold cranking amps. Charge is okay. So that battery's actually alright. So it's worth holding on to. Doesn't indicate that it's been overcharged, but it is a bit worrying that that's popped up. Unless it was somehow overfilled. But I mean, I buy these batteries from my supplier, and yeah, some of them you have to fill up yourself, but a lot of times you get them already ready filled. It does feel like there's a lot of pressure in there, so like it's pushing back. So I think yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, it could be, do you think maybe that when it was short circuited, it's just basically put it under massive load and pressurised it because it got hot or something? That's all I can imagine. The rectifier seems to be working fine, so I think it's just something to monitor, really. You'd ideally want to take this out for an hour's ride, really, and then come back and check it's still charging up the right rate. Anyway, I'll save that battery for him, whether he wants to use it or not. Yeah, quick video. Thanks for watching, guys.